through the highways till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
Welcome along, guys. Bear with me 1 second as the display is not showing up as it should. There we go. Now, yeah, as I say, welcome along. It is round 1 and we are in the amazing Spa. It is brand new season, so season 7. We're well over a year going, and what a packed season it is at the minute on the grid this evening. We are looking at, it looks like out of 52 drivers, 45 on track. Of course, we're 11 minutes and 33 seconds left in qualifying, so it's Pro-Ams out all at the minute there. They're the silver coloured numbers you see on your screen, and then the white numbers below are all pros. So Pro-Ams taking up nearly half of this grid, and then the pros packing out the rest of it. And I'm really looking forward to this season because it's going to be full of absolute greatness. Last season provided massive racing, and it went all the way down to the line with Ryan O'Sullivan coming out on top for the Pro Championship. And then for the Pro-Am, it was, of course, then Mr. Juarez Jr. So a lot of new faces here today as well. So we'll try to give everybody a little bit of action throughout this 90-minute race here this evening. Of course, as always, it is going to be 2 mandatory pit stops on a race where there is more than 90 minutes or more than 75 minutes. One thing though I do notice, the silly name thing is over. I'm gonna see can I get that turned off. That'll drive me mad. There we go. Sorted straight away. Now LFM Bop is something as well that we run in our seasons. So you'll see here the Porsche has 6 kg added onto it. The Ferrari has 9 kg. BMW is 8 kg. The Mercedes loses 7 kg. Then the Aston Martin V8 Vantage is losing 5 kg. Honda NSX Evo is losing 33 kg. Only 2 kgs off the Lamborghini. There's 11 kgs added to the McLaren. With the Ford Mustang, though, the heaviest bop here this evening, 29 kilos added to it there. And at the minute, as you see on the screen there, 2 minutes 17.530 is the fastest out of the Pro-Ams at the minute. So let's see now as we get into things how it's going to go. Anybody who's out on a lap now is allowed to finish a lap. Anyone who's not on a lap needs to get in because, of course, now, if you haven't seen it, the pros are out on track and Maurice Boutin has changed from his beloved BMW. For all the time we've known him, he's gone with the Ford this season. And what a race from the start out, and 29 kilos added to that car and a slightly different look to her supercharged livery, and that I felt it needed something different. And Maurice likes a little bit of black on the car, so we give him a lovely black roof there as well. So hopefully he'll be enjoying being out in that car this evening. And everyone's welcome who's watching either on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, wherever it is. You're more than welcome, and hopefully enjoy the racing here that the guys are going to put on for you this evening. So going through the grid there now in the pros, you've got Maurice Boutin. You have Ruslan Sayatstev. I'm going to ruin some names here this evening. Bruno Fantanozzi, of course, who came second last season, had epic racing. That incident with Tether in Donny in the second last race on the last lap, within a few corners to go. Then we have Patsuro Gamello, who's new with ourselves. Anonymous Rat, of course, we know he's in the pits now. Finley Gamble. Oh, that's Matty Gamble sitting in the pits. Matty is back actually in racing as well, and I want to really welcome him back into the sim racing. He's had 3 and a bit months off, I think it is, altogether over the summer. So it's great to see him back in and back racing. He's put the Bora at bay for this evening. Then we've got Robert Luaki. I'm going to ruin his name, but Shamat, welcome to you. See the Polish flag. Then we've got Richard Vickers, and I absolutely love this Cadbury Bruce livery. He threw it into the Discord earlier in the week, and I absolutely love this. So good to see that car actually out there. Of course, the return of Trevel here today, or fucking slow as he's called in the game. Then we've got Joel Bandera. Welcome along to you. You're a new face. Then we've got Avon. Welcome to you. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Bibliothèque. Then, of course, Season 6 champion and the current champion, Ryan O'Sullivan for Big Brain Racing, is out there getting the lap in now. We have Nathan Warren, who's out there, not in the supercharged livery by the looks of it. Aaron Holloway is, of course, out in his new era liveried car. Then we've got Ben Shawley, who is now a supercharged motorsports driver as well. And he's racing in our team colours here today. Then you've got Tom Solis for Team LFI out there. Their livery has not been uploaded. Leonardo Cliara next. That's a beautiful looking Italian livery for an Italian driver in an Italian car. Then Niero is off the track there. He's had an incident, or she, coming up through. Then we've got Victor Folken next. That's a beautiful looking BMW, and this is the one thing I love seeing, is all these custom liveries. Of course, Britt Batiste next in the Aston Martin. Then we've got Simon Kowalowski racing. It should be a Manigos liveried car, but it's not showing up for us. Konstantin Pavlov next there for Next Level. We've known Konstantin from last season as well. And our boy John Dudley's gone with a Pennzoil livery on his Bentley here today. No custom livery for him either. And then Ivan Gnarov out there as well, but he's out in the wrong split. So Ivan needs to get in now. Well, he's just going to get a penalty. There's no point me going and giving out to him. He's just going to get a penalty now for that. And any impedance he does, there's going to be bigger penalties for him. Then I'm going to run through the Pro-Am. So you've got Robert Purr. You've got then Roman Spitzen. Then we have Gaeto Ramundo. Then, of course, Terry Dunn. Then we have a name I'm not going to pronounce, which is Wiltold. That's all I'm going to get out of that because I'd ruin it on him. Then we've got Paolo Cisco. Then Finley Gamble, of course. Then we have Fabio Peroni for M4R. We know them very well. Thomas Zambioni. Then we've got Giuseppe Zampieri. Then we've got Amido Puglioni. Then we have Ivan, who's out there and going to be getting himself some penalties. And it's going to lap up every lap that's done. There's going to be a penalty for him there. It's in the rules. Rue Texera out there. Then we've got Andy Podicott, of course, for ourselves. Then we have Vincenzo Di Martino. Then we have Emir Ozidru back again. Thomas Stanek coming in here as well. Then we have Barry Dunn. Then we've got Simon Veronese, who we remember again. Ivan Rizerov. Anthony Ferrante, of course, is part of the furniture. And this is someone who I really want to talk about. This is Mark Watson. Good friend of mine. He is an admin over in Supercharged Motorsports, but he set up one of my original leagues with me, so I'm absolutely delighted to see him in there. And just to kind of go through this here, that's his beautiful little livery we've made for him there as well. And not many people know this, and I think it's a nice little note. So in our original league, there was a driver called ERC Smitty. He was an admin and a friend of ours, and unfortunately he passed away very young. So he has that little bit on his car as well. And for me, obviously knowing Smitty quite well and running leagues with him in the past, it's a nice touch to see. So great to see Mark out there. I'm really thrilled that he's in here racing. He's only transferred across into PC racing, but less of me talking and let's get back into what's happening on track, because I can easily get carried away, as everyone knows. So yeah, we are on now with Konstantin Pavlov, who is on provisional pole with a 2:16.992. Morris Bhutan up in P2. Then Omar Poor is in P3 with a 2:17.5. Ryan O'Sullivan is in P4. Then Zayatsef in P5 with Spitzen in P6. Now, another thing to note as well, any drivers who are out of position, I will be amending that after the race before I upload the standings. So, if for instance there is a few pro-ams who are ridiculously fast, they will be moved up. So that'll be interesting to see as well. Another interesting one for me as well, Tom Solis is a driver who I genuinely feel is going to give the lads a headache for this championship this season, and he's definitely someone I'm going to be keeping an eye on. He is super fast, super consistent as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. Now, I don't think I've seen him drive a McLaren before, and I'm sure Tom or Trevor might correct me on that one down the road, but I'm pretty sure I've never seen him in that, so that's going to be interesting to see. On here, I was going to jump on with Simons Kowalowski here now, and he's in the Aston Martin this season, so I'm wondering how he's finding that. I'm pretty sure he used to be in a BMW there as well, so let's see how he does. Which would be interesting to see. Now, let me have a look. I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. Now, let me move that across to here. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Get the Supercharged Motorsport logo popping. I didn't get much time to prep as I was sorting out servers beforehand with people in the wrong cars for not choosing the right car. But anyway, we've survived that and we're here. So that's Simons after giving up on that one there. I'm going to jump on board with Nathan Warren. And we'll go, oh, I jumped on with him at the wrong time. He lost the going up Eau Rouge, but kept out of the walls. He needs to try and move the car. He's going straight back to the pits. So jump on with John Dudley. And we'll jump on board with this young man here. And as I say, John Jung, anyone knows him, he's slightly on the owl side now at this stage. You know, he's near retirement now. John Dudley, of course, is a key figure over in Amigos Racing League. Our very good friends. So nice to see John out there giving it socks. And that's what it's all about. But yeah, so as you see now, the Bentley is the only right-hand drive car in this GT game, by the way, as well. So if you get a bit confused why he's a right-hand drive car, and say, for instance, I jump on with Richard Vickers, you'll see there he is on the left-hand side. And of course, the Porsche has a much different sound to the big dirty V8 that's in that Bentley. The Porsche for me is one of the best sounding cars. Of course, I'll be racing that in Amigos. I did miss their first race, just unfortunately Joe Rabsy couldn't race, so I wasn't going to leave him by himself because he normally cries if I'm not around him. But going back up actually to what's going on track instead of me going off in a tangent. So Ryan O'Sullivan's now up in P3, Kowalowski is up in P4. Now, improving laps. This is what I'm going to look at here. Aaron Holloway is up about half a second here. Where does he go? Aaron Holloway puts himself up into 11, so still not up to where he's probably hoping to be. And looking back at all these pros, Matty Gamble is out on a lap. Now, he's not set a lap, so we're going to keep an eye on Matty Gamble here with this one. And as you see behind there, he's got plenty of a gap behind. He doesn't have any distractions behind. He can just focus on what's actually going on ahead there. And you see there a bit of opposite lock there with the Honda. I'm not surprised. That Honda is an absolute maniac of a car. I absolutely love it, but it is an absolute maniac. So good to see him doing a bit of opposite lock. Let's see what he can do here. We'll keep an eye on the time. The time he needs to be is a 2 minute 16.460 by Pavlov there. At the minute, Matty is on a good lap. Is it going to be enough is the question, as Luecki is actually not going to get a lap in. So Matty Gamble's only lap time is going to be this one. So he cannot make an error. Wow, I'll tell you one thing. Some of the pros have not impressed the way I was expecting. We've got 44 cars in the grid here, and Mark Watson had done a decent job. I think him and Anthony Ferrante are going to have a good race there. Matty Gamble's still going though. Hasn't invalidated somehow. So that was quite wide. He was fighting the steering. The car was going absolutely wild there through the double. Is it a parabolica there? Double right-hander. And now all the way up now towards Blanchimont and then the bus stop. And this is going to be heavy braking, first gear corner, and maybe second gear and exit. A bit of opposite lock again. The Honda is just absolutely wanting to kill him. But this is a good lap from Matthew. And where does this put him? Boom, up from P11 there. He's after jumping Aaron Holloway. And that seems to be that there. We've got, though, Pamigello is after jumping up a bit of time there. And that's it for qualifying. So we're going to go through the full grid once we get onto the main race screen. There's an awful lot to dissect from that. But there is, looking here, the top 4 are split by less than a second. Then from 5th all the way back until 21st, there's only a second between them. And then further back, it's another second down to like 33rd. So there's not a much in it. And as I say, it's 2 different splits. And there's another new rule as well in terms of blue flagging. So in 5 corners, you need to let the blue flag car by. We do recommend letting faster splits by. That's in the rules as well. So yeah, a lot to be looked at here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the new penalty system goes. Because in fairness, season 6 has been our least amount of incidents through a season. So yeah, definitely looking forward to see how that does progress. But waiting for the race lobby just to load into this now. Everyone's in the pits. There normally is a small bit of overtime, but it should normally then jump in once everybody's in there. And it's great to see all the different liveries that are there. Some are very creative and some are just very simplistic as well, but that's all part of it. You drive what you want to drive, and yeah, looking like it's going to be colourful spectrum. I'm just terrified now of going up a Rouge. As I said in the driver briefing, please, please, please be careful going through. And that is Lewecki there, who has not left. Now, Anthony Frante's car looks like it's fairly out there. But we shall wait to see. I'm waiting for this to jump across. Now, guys, if you're looking to get involved in racing with ourselves on SimGrid, you can actually join any of our races. We do have a Porsche Cup one-off race coming at the end of the month there. It's live on SimGrid now. We'll have a few more events coming soon. And, of course, I am in the works of planning a charity 24-hour race. But that will be later in the year that will be coming through. And of course, as well, in our server, there is access to other leagues. So if we don't have something on a day that may suit you, we can direct you to a league that would. And then, of course, thanks to LFI, we have the live time attack server running at all times. And it's an automated leaderboard and that one there. And that comes in to our server as well directly after a session ends. So this is going to be fun once it loads in. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. Waiting for this to come in. Yeah, you don't need to give a like to this stream. Once you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. I'm literally just waiting here for this server to push forward. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. Let me check here now. What is going on with the server? Should have definitely jumped in. Check championships. View. So event details, 300 seconds. Post race time on this section overtime. The other guys in chat there, kind of thinking what I'm thinking. It's taking quite a bit of time for this to be showing up. There we go, just as I say it there. So we might as well go for a look through the grid. I'm just going to press drive here now. And we'll F7 this first, and we'll go through drive. So F7, and then I just have to turn off my follow car. And let's go through everybody. This is going to be interesting to see. Can I do that, though? So bear with me. I'm going to try one more thing if I can. No, I need to go back to the other view for a minute. Because I need to get everybody's name, because I will feel bad if I don't get everybody's name. Why isn't this working for me? There we go. Right, so I need to drag this down. This is the joys of not doing commas in a month, is getting used to all this again. So let me see, up to what, 23rd. That's fine. So now, without further ado, yeah, you definitely. I'm a bit rusty after a month off, but I am doing some comms tomorrow night in a Formula One league as well. I'm after starting to take on some comms work. So in pole position we have Pavlov, and then alongside him then is Morris Bhutan. So Ford's covering out the front row there. And P2 is last season's champion and current champion. It is Ryan O'Sullivan, and beside him is Kowaleski, both in Aston Martin. So double Ford, double Aston Martin. Then in row 3, we have Orpur and then Tom Solis there, Porsche and McLaren. Then a McLaren just behind there. So we have Ziastef and Spitzen next. Spitzen in the Ferrari, of course. Then we have Bandera and then John Dudley next. So John Dudley, the first of the Aston Martin. And what I'm liking to see is people are using different cars because of the LFM BOP. Then next we have Matty Gamble in the Honda and Aaron Holloway in the Porsche. I suspect this is going to be an interesting race into the first corner. After then we have Bruno Fantanozzi and then Ben Shawley next. Fantanozzi probably not ideal for the Ferrari today, this track. Then we have Ben Shawley should be there. Oh, sorry, no, Ramundo and effing Slow is next on the grid. I'm just going to speed up as I thought to get everybody in. Then we've got Terry Dunn and Kokash. I can't say his name, I'm sorry. I'm not going to ruin it on you, buddy. Then we have Avon and then Clara next. Then we have Britt Batiste, and then we have Cisco next. Then next up we have Finley Gamble and that is Peroni then next. Good to see Peroni back. Then we have Anonymous Rat, and then Zambioni next again. Good seeing the M4 guys back. Then we have Falcon and Pogini next. Then we've got Gagarnov and then Texera. Then we have Gaminio, Nathan Warren then beside. Then we have Nieto. Then we have Mr. Poddicott. Then Richard Vickers in the boost bar. Then we have Di Martino, Ozidro. Then we have Stanek, Barry Dunn, Veronese, Anthony Ferrante, Rizov, as well as there, Watson, and then Liueki. I'm not going to get that name right either. I'm going to ruin names all day long. But let's get ready to rumble and have a bit of fun this evening, guys. This is what it's all about. And why isn't that coming into me? There we go. That's what we want. Now, So that is that. My prediction, I'm going to give you a prediction for the race. Who do I think is going to win the race? Who do I think is going to come second and third? So in the pro side of it, I'm going to be big and bold this season and try and do both. So in pro this season, I'm going to say Pavlov will lose to Morris Bhutan, but I reckon Ryan O'Sullivan is going to be I'm going to say Bhutan from O'Sullivan from Pavlov in pros. Poor Spitzen, they're probably not going to be in pros anyway. I'm going to say the likes of Terry Dunn, Raimondo, and Finley Gapple, I think, might be in this one as well. But time will tell. Due to the amount of cars, we're just going to go the easy way and just do a helicopter start here this evening. At least you can barely hear him. That's a positive. I'll turn down the other mic. It's just me chatting away. So what I'll do then, I'll turn that down a bit. I'm just afraid to be shouting into the mic, but I'll put my face a bit closer to the mic there. I don't like shouting too much into the mic. So we're away on a rolling start, and it's a short rolling start here in Supercharged Motorsports. Then it's a 90-minute race with 2 mandatory pit stops each as well, fuel only. And we're just about to get going there. Pavlov is really looking to get going. So is Mr. O'Sullivan, who is absolutely nailing that throttle there, looking for a bit of action. So fingers crossed there's no incidents. There's a lot of cars on track here this evening. We've got 45 on this grid. And as we get going, it looks like there Pavlov has done enough to get by and stay ahead. But Ryan O'Sullivan has got a great start as well. So he's been very clear, although he's putting the pressure on Morris Bhutan already. Although Morris should have the legs, and I'm coming down towards the next turn there. That Ford in a straight line is absolutely on it there. Oh, let me have a look at what's going on there. Going back into it now. Oh, that's not letting me connect up to the game, so we'll go out with that for now. So he's doing a great job there, getting by Morris Bhutan, and is trying to get back into it now. And unfortunately for him, it is just not happening. So I'm just going to have to reopen up our tool there because it for some reason crashed. As is the joy sometimes with doing these commentaries there. But at the minute, Ryan O'Sullivan doing a great job. Morris Bhutan, though, gets the job done and is back by. Didn't take too long from, says him, thankfully enough. As I'm opening up our race control again to get this back in and working. I don't know why it wasn't connecting up. And it looks like we are not in. There's an error with this, which is really unusual. We've not had that before. I'm just going to hold the stream for a second till I get that resolved. I will be back within the next minute or so.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
No, apologies about that there. Hopefully it is back and running grand for you now, guys. It was very weird, but ACC Race Control decided not to be Race Control anymore. But Ryan O'Sullivan's still in third. Kowalski is in fourth there with Tom Solis not too far off down in fifth position. I'm going to jump back though. Matty Gamble's up a few positions and is putting the pressure on Mr. John Dudley here. Coming down the back straight, although that Bentley in a straight line will be an absolute rocket there. While that's going on, I'm going to jump back a bit further here with Slow putting a move on Britt Batiste. Britt is on the defensive, Slow on the outside there. Britt's going to run a bit deeper, I feel, but he has him covered off. He didn't move over too much at all. So Mr. Slow has to wait just another little while. Looking on with Nathan Warren here. He's going to throw it up the inside, but a car very slow was the Porsche there. But Nathan holds the inside line there and is trying to get by, and looks like he's going to get by there. But Nito trying to get up through the pack. Nito was trying to do a last to first challenge, it seems, as he of course started in last position after not qualifying, but somehow has gotten through it there now. Now going back down further, Watson and Stanek are having a bit of fun. Mark Watson doing a good job, although now he's got, that looks like Andy Podicott on his inside. But this is Mark's very first ACC race there, him and Podicott side by side. Both of them doing a great job. Both of them don't realise they are supercharged motorsport drivers. And they're giving it everything there, and that's what we love to see, is racing like that there. We are doing quite a good job there in terms of racing throughout the grid at the minute. Back further, there's a few people out of position there. See, Lewick is a little bit back there. Fantanozzi out there a little bit as well, but I'm thinking he went into the pits and we missed that. Pavlov last lap, fastest lap of the race at 2:17.765. But here in Supercharged Motorsports, we keep an eye where the action is. We won't be looking too much on a leader if they're by themselves, unfortunately, until the last lap. But yeah, we're 7 minutes into this race here now. John Dudley doing a great job. Much better season this season for him so far, starting out in the Bentley. Let's see, can this continue for him? Matty Gamble is right on his tail there. Ben Shawley is not far off him as well. Ben, of course, getting used to BMW, coming from the Ferrari as well. So a few drivers have changed cars. Matty Gamble used to be BMW fanatic. I still think the Ford killed his soul, and that's why he stopped racing for a while there. Matty, though, gets it wrong going up through Rouge and Radion there. Good stuff there. Bo Morris and Mr. O'Sullivan getting back. Let's go back 15 seconds, have a look at this, have a live replay there. And it looks like there, yes, so Morris and Ryan touched a little bit. Touched again. That was very aggressive. But Morris had to leave the room. Ryan hung it out and somehow got the job done. So that's all fair in love and racing. And a good job from the two of them. And now Mr. Bhutan's under pressure from Kowalski. But that's great news for Pavlov. He's 3.2 seconds clear of all these as well. So that's great news for him. Then we've got Solis, who's kind of about 1.1 seconds off this battle there for third position, in sitting in fifth himself. Then Spitzen's about 2 seconds back from him. Purr is about 1 second back from him. But then John Dudley only half a second off. But then he's got Matty Gamble half second off. Ben Shawley and Aaron Holloway then within that as well. So these are all very close there, as you see. Aaron Holloway just in the background of that one. Bandera then 1.2 seconds back to them in that beautiful looking livery on that McLaren there. Then half a second, 2 seconds behind those Britt Batiste. It was a little bit less than that. But now look at this. Effin Slow is getting a good run here. Britt runs very wide out, carrying loads of speed. So Britt's really giving it everything there. I'm surprised he's able to take a right hand turn, of course, with him being American as well. But he gets the job done. Then Terry Dunn is 1.2 seconds off them. Anonymous Rat then is 1.8 seconds off him. In 17th, Finley Gamble is 18th at the minute. Clara is 19th. Zampieri is 20th. I'm going to go back to Texera, though. Texera is 0.3 of a second off Camelo, with Garganoff there. Gaganerov right behind as well. That Italian flag, I've seen it on a Ferrari earlier, so there is a team of drivers here on Route Texera RTM. Oh, the Lamborghini gets that wrong there. Gamello there for NERT 2024. Got it kind of wrong, but enters fine. Gets on with it there. Nathan Warren, of course, giving it beans. Terry Dunn, though, with Mr. Vulcan there. Vulcan has got the job done and is after putting nearly half a second clear just out of that corner alone. So they're really on it there. I'm going to jump on with Aaron. Oh, wowzers. Aaron and Ben. Oh, what's going on with Ben? Wow. Let's go back here. So, oh, that's neck coding. That was absolute neck coding. His internet must be absolutely brutal there, because that is an incident that shouldn't have happened. That makes zero sense. Back on with Matty Gamble as that goes on, so they'll have to look at that afterwards, or we will look at it afterwards, should I say. So while that is going on, back on up here, Matty Gamble 0.2 of a second off. This the closest he's been now in a little bit to Mr. Dudley. But Dudley is doing all he needs to do and is getting the job done. So Kowalski, Solis though is right on Kowalski here now. So Solis, after being a bit of a gap away, is now under a bit of crack. He's going to get some work done here by the looks of it. He's right there with Kowalski, and Kowalski is only about 0.7 off Morris. And Morris is now a second off Ryan O'Sullivan. So Ryan has that gone through. And no, Britt hasn't crashed yet, Oliver. That's an Oliver Anderson comment. How many officers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They will beat the... Oh, wow. I'm not saying that on stream. Absolutely not. Now I'm going to go back on to Bandera, who's actually giving Aaron Holloway a bit of pressure here now. So Aaron will have to try and do his very best to keep him behind, of course. But that Aston Martin in a straight line, I do feel after Rouge will be all over him. So we'll see how this one goes here and plays out. This is what it looks like from inside the Aston Martin there. Now let's see here, how quick can he get to him? So the gap isn't really pulling up the way I was expecting. No, Aaron Holloway's doing just enough. The Porsche has just enough beans. Oh, as I say that, he gets beans alright. He gets rear-ended. Wowzers. Well, stewards will look after that, so it is what it is for Aaron, but he's back on track. Quite a bit of rear damage there. He's got Terry Dunn right behind him now. They are in different splits, so it shouldn't be a big issue. Then Joel Bandera doing what he can do, I suppose, there. He's going to have to face what comes to him later on. Trying to speak about this in the nicest way as well, obviously. With poor old Garganaro up there with massive front end damage on him. We've missed what happens here. Then we've got Falcon. Victor doing a good job also. Well, I'm trying to stay where the action is for now, and it's pretty much everywhere. Matty Gamble and Dudley, though, is really intriguing me. Because I know these guys quite a long time, so I'm really hoping that they have a good battle all race long. And Bentley versus Honda, the Honda will chew through its tyres later on in the race. So I'm assuming Matty will be doing... Well, I suppose everyone's going to do a tyre change. Now, are they going to do the normal thing where you wait about 45 minutes, do a pit stop, change tyres, then do a splash and dash? I suppose that's really down to the driver. Some people might want to do kind of light fuel and just do a sprint. And then on the second one, on the second light fuel one, just get in and get tyres on. It'll be a rocket again for half an hour or so. So it'll be interesting to see what way they do go on this. But right there has Terry Dunn and Holloway now ahead of him. Anthony Ferrante and Nathan Warren. Anthony Ferrante has got by him. What I like about Anthony Ferrante is he is improving every time I see him in a vehicle. And like even today, up in 32nd place. He came third last season. Can I just say that in the Pro-Ams for consistency by itself was enough for him to get third there. I think Britt should shoot the tyres out. There's no Jags Oliver, which I'm really, really sad about. It's really sad to see that. Now, guys, I had ran a competition. We're doing a Supercharged Weekly kind of magazine-esque kind of thing in our Discord. And I was doing a giveaway for a Assetto Corsa, and it came with 3 downloadable packs with it. But nobody entered the competition, it seems. So for anyone who's watching, I'm going to give them a week. Whether you're watching, I'd say go over to the YouTube page, even if you're watching on Twitch. And in our YouTube page, comment in this live stream why you should win the game for free. So Assetto Corsa with 3 downloadable contents with it for free. And let me know, and the winner will get the code then by Sunday. But while this is all going on, we've got Martino in the pits, Gaganarov is in the pits, Nathan Moran's in the pits. As I go up then, Zamperari though is about 0.8 of a second off his teammate now. So I'm going to go buy that one here, because Britt Batiste, Fukin Slow, Aaron Holloway, they're all getting a bit close. Bandera, Zatsiev as well is quite with it there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes out. As them guys in the pits there. It looks like Nathan Moran is going grand. That's good to see there. So Kowaleski there is now after dropping a second off Morris Bhutan. Morris Bhutan is down actually 1.4 seconds. Troy O'Sullivan and Pavlov is kind of kept within the 3.5 second or so mark, which is quite interesting to see as well. So he's not pulling away like I was expecting maybe in terms of after Morris losing out in the position. I was expecting maybe to pull out a bit, but no, Ryan O'Sullivan and the guys are still sticking with him. So by no means is it over yet, and you need to be consistent for the next hour and 13 minutes. So Kowaleski there is going to be giving Morris a little bit of a headache. Gamble's still there with Dudley. So this is the view, sorry, I was jumping on with the wrong car doing that. This is Dudley's view. He's Matty Gamble pushing all over him there at the minute. But you just see there, Matty's car just doesn't seem to have it's not as smooth as Dudley's is, although that blue flag car, while being very nice, was making life probably a little bit difficult there for Matty, but he gets through it there. Jumping out with Matthew Gamble there now as he goes around. You'll notice though, in a corner exit where there's no bumps, that Honda will be sliding a lot more. Be warned, it costs your soul. What costs my soul, or whose soul? Let us know. I'm going to jump on now with Tom Solis as he's starting to rein in Kowaleski here as well. So Solis was there and kind of dropped off and is now coming back. So it's quite interesting to see. I think Tom is probably managing his tyres a little bit. There's no point giving it everything, and you know you're kind of not going to get by. You're going to be stuck behind for a little bit. I think Tom has done the right idea there. Going to go back though to Stanek, Dunn, Polycott. Little sandwich here with Richard Vickers then ahead. Or am I saying that right? It is Richard Vickers. And he's got the guys behind, although Polycott's dropped off a little bit there. So, yeah, it looks like Stanek here doing quite a decent job in the other Honda that's out there at the minute. And it's nice to see this. The LFM bot brings out every kind of car. And we have, of course, an Audi here, which I don't think has got much air here. And it's great to see this car out. The noise of that car is beautiful. And he is sitting down in 31st at the minute. I see Nathan Moran and Luaki there are out of the pits there, as is Fantanossi. Fantanossi slowly coming back up through the pits. I'm not sure whether that was... Oh, Aaron Holloway, though, getting very, very close there to Mr. Trevel. Aaron Holloway, of course, got huge, huge damage there. I think that was from Bandera earlier on. Getting rear-ended, actually, down the back straight. Aaron, though, right behind Trevel here. Both of them giving everything. Aaron, though, has a lovely toe. This will be interesting here. With him here, the BMW, though, has a much better straight line speed, but Aaron's just getting into that drag there. There's not much he can do there with that one there. Is Trevel's going to hold the inside line? Is Trevel going to be too aggressive? No, he's not. He's giving Aaron the room, so Aaron is going to get the job done. Trevel, though, is still on the inside, coming back at Aaron. They're going side by side through, but Trevel has to concede that place there. Great driving from himself and Aaron Holloway, of course. These guys know each other and they've gotten that job done beautifully there. So well done to both of them. That's exactly what we love to see out there. Matty Gamble has got by John Dudley while I've been watching all of that there. Matty Gamble has been absolutely on it. So he's got the job done for now. And we get back into this here, looking back at Zaitsov with Bandera, who we were speaking of a few moments ago. He's got Britt Batiste there, Holloway, of course, in the background. That is getting super close. Zampieri here gets by their teammate there by quite a bit. And it looks like Texera is going to try and get by as well, but Texera has been held off. Was that a team decision to let them swap around positions like that? And Texera there, of course, looking to get away by now. So let's see how that one goes as Wojcik putting the pressure on Anthony Ferrante here now. Anthony Ferrante, of course, we know is quite good, but these are fighting for positions. Let's see a little bit more feistiness out of Anthony Ferrante today. I'd absolutely love to be seeing that. So as this is happening here, Anthony doing a decent job. Looking up through the grid, Texera and Clara are quite close still. Batiste quite close to Zaitsov. Then we have Dudley now, who's pulled or dropped about 1.5 seconds off, as Matty Gamble is right there with Poor and then spits in as well. Ooh, Ferrante though, under the pressure here now. Is he going to be able to keep it into the bus stop? That Audi we know is quite a fast car now, especially with the LFM Bop and the new patch that was done. It's quite a competitive car again, which we love to see. The more brands we see racing, the better. It's an AC code for it's AC, not ACC. Anthony's holding off very nicely there. Jumping on with Matty Gamble though, open P8, looking to try and make that P7 there with Poor. Batista has got boys Zaitsov in the background there. Let's go back 15 seconds and see what happened to him there. At that stage, the job was literally just done. You see Britt just ahead. So Zaitsov there is under pressure now from Aaron Holloway. So Aaron is doing as good as he can. He's 0.2 of a second off there now. And looking to follow in his friend Britt Batiste's footsteps and get him by. And that was beautifully done there. He put the pressure on, got his nose in just enough, and he made that position happen down. Zaitsov, being a very aware driver, gives that position up. Matty Gamble, though, trying to go around the outside of Poor. That was unbelievable. Matty Gamble will be definitely getting a replay of that there. That was beautiful. Let's go back 15 seconds. Helicopter cam. Let's enjoy this one. So he runs just a little bit off in the dirty air. Matty Gamble sends it around the outside. The Honda literally trying to murder him. And he holds on for dear life and gets the job done. That was a great drive there from both of them there. But Matty Gamble will be delighted with that. Next up for him is Spitzin. He's about 2 seconds off or so. So let's see, can Matty Gamble catch up with him while that's going on? I'm going to jump back a little bit here. Back to Zanziboni in P36 for M4 Squadra Corsa Racing, who is now half a second off our boy, Mr. Mark Watson. Mark Watson is doing a good job there, and he consistently is getting faster, looking at his lap times as well. So he's doing a great job there. You're not going to miss that car with the Lando Norris yellow on that diffuser and wing. So Rab's doing a great job out there in his debut in ACC. Runs a bit wide though. Oh, catches it. Great stuff there. Oh, he's run a bit wide there. The M4 driver's going to get a free pass there. Mark rejoins and gets going again. But this is all learned for him. This is more so gathering the data, understanding the cars and moving on forward there. So great job from him. So we've got Anonymous Rathers in the pits there now. So you'll see his name dropping down the order, but that's with reason. Thomas Stanek here is about 0.7 off Richard Vickers here. It's a day-old thing of the boost bar versus the red Honda. And we'll see which one comes out on that one there with Texera here. Putting the pressure on Chiara with Calamino behind. So it looks like it's a team job between Zampieri, Chiara and Galamino. But Texera is trying to be a party pooper. And get by down with Mr. Trevel trying to get by Satsiev. as Zatsiev had dropped off from Aaron Holloway and Britt Batiste there. John Dudley is now zero point 0.4 of a second off Poor, who's 1.4 seconds off Matty Gamble. Matty Gamble now is breaking the second barrier with Spitzen, so Matty Gamble is starting to find his feet here. I am going to say Matty Gamble will probably try and catch up with this man, Tom Solis, who is behind Kowaleski here at the minute. Morris Bhutan is now down to half a second off Ryan Sullivan for P2 and P3 here in this race. And we're only literally 25 minutes in, and the action just hasn't stopped from front of the grid to the back of the grid there. Pavlov has only 4.7 seconds worth of a gap at the minute. That's dropped or gone up a little bit to 5 seconds though through the corners. So he's got 5 seconds clear after 25 minutes, which is fair enough. But of course in GT racing, the biggest thing to watch out for here, and I haven't mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it now, you do not want to get 3 corner cuts here, because there you go. Drive through, just as I say it. That was car number 299. So who was that? Mr. Leaki. The drive-through here is so painful because it's not Formula 1 pits. It's the full GT pits. You go in at the Formula 1 entrance, but then you go down around to the right-hand side after turn 1 and down and out. So here, that is going to be absolutely painful for Robert. But think of the points at the end of the day. It's all about getting those points and learning from it. So it's not all over. Then Simon Veronese there is putting the pressure on Barry Dunn. Richard Vickers in the pits. Kellen Mayo's in the pits there as well. So the drive-through is going to be a huge, huge factor here this evening. And it absolutely is painful. It's happened to me once or twice in my time, of course, racing, where I've got a drive-through here and it absolutely hurt. Here in the, I think, are probably the 2 worst tracks to get it on. This being the extreme. But all going good. So Ryan O'Sullivan, Morris Bhutan, round 56 at this stage. Have had that many battles. And now it's down to 0.2 of a second here. So I'm wondering how our current champion's tyres are, because he is losing time now, of course. That's down to the power of that Ford as well. Beautifully done there from both drivers. And I think Ryan can trust racing with Morris, and you can kind of get that bit closer as well. They're used to racing with each other. As a lot of these drivers are new and probably only learning each other's driving styles as well. So that's definitely something for them to be looking out at. I'm not looking at whatever Oliver sent me until after the race, because I don't want to be banned off anything. So Morris Bhutan now, this is probably his best chance here. You have to let off a little bit. And that was in the slipstream. That Aston just has the power as well. Morris just showing his nose what was going to tuck back in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's not much he can do there at the minute. Ryan is having a good job in the Aston and is definitely making moves. Hello, ZFF1, how are you doing? First time chatting there as well. Good to see you. You're very, very, very welcome. Now let me have a look here. There is a few first time chatters in here this evening, so you're all very welcome. Trying to get through all the chats is a fun thing now as well. Only took me one race to rearrange the face of the BMW. It happens. It absolutely happens, though. Portend should be pronounced more like Levetsky. Okay. Okay. The W. Yeah, it's how I'm reading it. Levetsky. Alright, Ben. Oh, you're out, are you? We don't quit. Get back in and finish it and get the points. Levetsky. Okay, I'll remember that one. I'll try my best to remember it anyway. Let's give that one a go. So I'm going to get back in here and look at the gaps. Getting distracted with the chats there as well. Of course, we love having the chats in though. On here now with Kowaleski's 0.3 of a second off Mr. Solis, as Solis got the move done while I was busy chatting. And Solis there It looks like he's going to hold on to it, although under pressure in the braking zone. No, he's not. The Aston decides to hold back on that. Matty Gamble now is within striking distance as well of Spitzen, which is an interesting one as well. Okay, let's see how that goes. 7 minutes worth of damage. How? So Kowalowski is in the pits now. We've got Texera Azaroff in the pits. Ozidru is in the pits as well. So loads of people getting into the pits now and getting that done and dusted. Let me see. No, so while all that's going on here, that's Rizov in the pits as well. So Veronese is out there. He's about 0.5 of a second off. It's dropped down to 0.8 there. So Simone Veronese there for the M4 Squadra Racing team. As we've got a busy pit lane up front, we've got Kowalowski, Baptiste, fucking slow, Terry Dunn all in the pits there as well. So everyone's kind of getting their first stop done now after 30 minutes. Now the interesting, I'm just going to check on the pits. Has anyone done tyres yet? How do people have pitted? Okay, so Gamello was 136, Texera 151. So some of them are probably huge damage as well. Although stopped is probably what I should be looking at. So Texera definitely done it. Rat has definitely done that and damage. Vickers is the same. Nearly everyone has done at least tyres so far. So interesting to see, will they do tyres on the second pit stop, because it's I don't think it's faster to do 2 tyre changes around here. How are you doing, Sylvixen? Hope you're keeping well. I would have said to the drivers to possibly do the likes of a 45-minute and just keep that extra splash and dash pit stop just in case you got a bit of damage. Then you can just go in, get a splash and dash, get the damage fixed and get back out there as well. But I don't think... Oh, okay. We'll have a look anyway. So that's what our software would hopefully picked it up anyway. Although, actually, I think they had an issue after the restart there, so we'll sort that out afterwards. But all going good and strong, which is what we want to see. Aaron Holloway's 0.8 of a second off Bandera now. He's going to have Vietnam flashbacks after being rear-ended by him earlier on. He needs to get the job done nice and smoothly there with Spitzen and Poor, I think it is, or Spitzen coming into the pits. Holloway is going to be looking to try, as I say, to get by there. Morris Bhutan 1.1 seconds off Ryan O'Sullivan now. So Ryan has kind of steadied out and got back into it, stretching his legs there. Veronese is now 0.6 of a second off Don Kowalowski, half a second off Britt Batista. Britt jumped him, it seems, in the pit stop there. Let me look at the times. Britt Batista's only stopped for 20 seconds. That was definitely damage and fuel only. While Kowalowski was 38 seconds. That was definitely tyres for him. So while he's lost position now, he's going to surely get by on fresher rubber within a few laps once they get up to temps as well. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Oliver. It's not a great strategy to be pit stopping now in this race. I'm very, very shocked at that. Oh, nice one. Did you have a nice holiday? Where did you actually go? Oh, you were over in Ireland, actually, weren't you, if I remember right? If I remember correctly, you were in Ireland. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. But good to see you in here, and I hope you're having a good evening. Zampereri is now in the pits, as well as Spitzen there as well. Matty Gamble staying now. Solis is ahead of Matty Gamble in P4. Now, Solis is in position he was in. Matty Gamble's jumped one position with people pitting. So, for Matty, this is a godsend having free air. This could work out in his favour later on in the race as well. So, let's see how that does develop out. Morris now is down less within about half a second or so off Mr. Ryan O'Sullivan now. So they keep kind of coming close together, spreading out, close together, spreading out. Trading positions, should I say, and trading times. So Fantanuzzi there is literally after getting the move done there, and Veronese it looks like was coming out of the pits. But then again, that could be the blue flags as well. Ramondo there is after getting up there with Spitzen, just coming out of the pits there. And that looks like Trevel's getting by. It is. Trevel has got by there. up in the P22. Of course, a lot of people haven't picture, so this is not exactly a full picture of what's going on at the minute. Anthony Franti is racing there with Vickers as the both Duns are in the pits. Barry and Terry Dunn. Anthony Franti is 0.6 off. Rizzoff is also in the pits, by the way. And Fantanuzzi now is actually getting super close to Andy Polycott. Andy must have had a moment there because Fantanuzzi all over the back. Fantanuzzi does have a bit of damage front and rear, but is getting the job done. Polycott's not going to fight that one too much. And away they go there now. So looking up further, Bhutan now is about 0.5 of a second off as he's getting super close to Ryan again. Now this is the thing, as Ryan O'Sullivan just kind of going gentle with his tires. Oh, 30 seconds stop and go for speeding in the pit lane for car 80. So Terry Dunn gets himself a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, and that's going to hurt here, but Terry will keep it going. He knows there's a drop round, so even if he doesn't do a great race today, it may not count by the end of the season. Ah, okay, so that's nice. Well, where did you go this time? Make me jealous. Well, we were all having to work away, of course. He says you've earned your holiday as well. Let's go back here, Mr. Slow. Oh, he's looking like he's going to get the job done, and he does. Great job there as Polycock goes into the pits. Spitzing 0.2 of a second off. It looks like Gamundo there. Gamundo just kind of got the corner wrong, but didn't do the mad thing by cutting across, and he done the right thing by letting effing Slow go, as Naito, Falcon are both in the pits there now. It's just seeing cars pass, and I need to figure out who was in the pits there. That's great to see. Other than that, now it's kind of spread out with people in the pits. It's kind of slowed it down a little bit. Oh, so that one with you and Aaron, it looked like I done a replay live on the stream. So if you go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube, you can actually go back, and it looks like it was neck coding because Aaron wasn't enough near you for that contact to have happened. So to me that looked like neck coding from my stream. I just think that was a weird issue. But then again, Student will have a look at that and go through that anyway. So it's not the end of the world. So Roman Spitzen and Raimundo are definitely fighting nice and close. Trevel though is slowly pulling away ahead, which is what Trevel wants to see. Of course, looking then at the pit stops. It was a splash and dash for Perioni, sorry. That looks like the fastest pit time so far is 10 seconds being stopped and out of the box then. The fastest car in the speed trap is actually Jay Bandera, 278 kilometers an hour, so definitely running less aero there for Bandera. Oh, nice one. Any breakaway at all is a break well deserved. I'm dreaming of a break now at this stage, to be honest with you. Wouldn't mind a week off. It would be quite nice. But right, let's see as this all goes back. You've got Barry Dunn now is putting a bit of pressure on Terry. He's about a second off. Let's see how that one plays out, as we've got here now with Withold, who is fighting with Anthony Franti still, and Withold here I think is going to get the job done. He does, and gets by Anthony Franti. Anthony doing a great job there as well. And with Mr. Mark Watson as well in his debut in ACC. Doing a beautiful job out there. Absolutely flying down there. You can see the confidence going with him. And hard into the bus stop. He's getting it just right. Good stuff, Rabs. That's what we like to see. Anthony dropping back a little bit. Farnese in the pits, but stopped in the pits. Interesting. Roman Spitzen is trying to get up through the field there, stuck behind Raimundo there at the minute. So Matty Gamble still going nice and strong there. He'll go to about the 45th minute. Change those. I absolutely love what he done. I only noticed it now. He put the Honda VTEC onto the Honda at the back. That's brilliant. He normally doesn't do little things like that on the other lads' cars. That's awesome. I like that. Fair play to Matty. Morris Bhutan here, fighting for second and third with Mr. Ryan. 0.3 of a second off now. So Ryan O'Sullivan has a beautiful rear wing of the supercharged Mustang there. You'll see how close Morris gets up there. And it looks like... Ooh, Ryan just had a moment there, but that's due to the back marker head, and Ryan's got through, but it's Kev Morris a tenth of a second extra there as well. Both of them run nice and wide, but I tell you one thing, this is Morris's chance. He's right on the back of him here now. He's definitely going faster. Ryan's just able to keep it. I tell you one thing, the Aston Martin has been super impressive. That's been really, really impressive there. And a job not done for Morris yet, unfortunately. Spitzen here, back with Raimundo here. Spitzen though much smoother through there. Raimundo, I'm assuming, carrying just a bit more speed there. He was absolutely abusing the curbs there, trying to get the car rotated around with it, and has got that done nicely. So Rabs though doing a good job there. His best lap is not that bad at all. That's what I'd say. Tom Solis has decided to jump into the pits, as is John Dudley. Interesting. Keep an eye on that one, as Morris is still out there. Now, we all know Morris likes to listen to Celine Dion while he's racing, so he's probably listening to a bit of My Heart Will Go On or something like that now at the minute, as he enjoys a bit of Celine. So that's Finley Gamble now, up into P9 in this race. Has Finley Gamble stopped yet? No, he hasn't, but doing a great job. And that's what it's all about. Finley Gamble at 2:19 versus Poor is definitely 2:18. Interesting to see. So the fastest lap is still Pavlov at 2:17.40, which is quite interesting to see. The closest then is O'Sullivan, actually 2:17.465, but then Morris Bhutan 2:17.432. So the three of them are on it. Then we have a 2:17.715 from Tom Solis. So Tom Solis is definitely able to do it. 2:17.6 from Kowaleski, 2:17.8 from Fantanuzzi. So there's quite a few people that are thereabouts as Fantanuzzi, as we're just talking about him, is trying to get by Stanek. Stanek in the Honda, Fantanuzzi in the Ferrari. This will be an interesting one here. It looks like Fantanuzzi's going to have enough there. Stanek's going to have to get out of that one there, and he does. And Fantanuzzi gets by there. Of course, they are racing in different splits there. The race leader is now in the pits. Pavlov is in the pits. So Ryan O'Sullivan takes over the lead there from Morris Bhutan in P2. So let's see, can they put on a bit more of a show, as Matty Gamble is still out there in P3, just going around turn 1 now. And that's the gap of about 10 seconds. What I'm going to do, anyone who's watching, be it on YouTube or on Discord, or sorry, not even Discord, on Twitch, if you can let me know the name of a driver who you'd like to see a full on board lap with. And what I normally do kind of halfway through a race is I do a full on board lap with a driver. So let me know in the comments who you'd like to see a full on board lap with, and in a lap or two's time I will go on board with them. As I say, Aaron Holloway in the pits, Pavlov is still in the pits. Solis though looking for a bit of a move on. Raimundo has Spitzen right behind him. So Raimundo needs to get out of the way. And eventually does get out of the way. Finley Gamble opened P7 with the guys all pitting. Of course, Matty Gamble I'm expecting in this lap. Because there's no point in that Honda going any longer, because you're just going to lose time now on the Honda with the tyres as it gets eaten. Kowalewski or Levetsky. Okay, that's the votes we have there. So I say the name completely wrong, so apologies. But to be honest with you, it happens. Let's see, does Matty go in this lap here? This is what I'm interested in seeing now. He'd be mad if he goes any longer. So Holloway is leaving the pits. John Dudley's back by Holloway. Looking at that, Dudley has jumped Mr. Solis as well. Dudley was stopped 22. How long was Solis stopped for? Solis was stopped for 55 seconds. He must have had severe damage. Ouch. As Ryan O'Sullivan, Morris and Matty Gamble are all in the pits. So that's now Purr in the lead at the minute. Now, this is what I'm interested in. Where did these all come out in relation? So looking on the map there, Pavlov is in P9. He was originally leading this race. Sylvexin, fucking slow, and Tom Solis 50-50. 50-50 is not fair, because then it means I can't really get a drink. Who do you like better? That's who I'll ask. Is it going to be Trevel or Tom? As the leader now, or sorry, should I say he was the leader. Finley Gamble's in the pits as well. Also Naito, Stanek, Dean Marino. Terry Dunn is in the pits, but I'm assuming that's doing his drive-through. I'll keep an eye for any penalties. So this is a Pavlov coming down the main straight into turn 1, and this is when we're going to see where people come out. Pavlov was stopped for 32 seconds. Matty Gamble stopped for 35, as did Ryan. Morris Bhutan is still stopped. So Pavlov, I think, is going to get by them all. Yeah, so Pavlov's back clear. Morris Bhutan is out. Oh, Ryan O'Sullivan is out behind him. So Morris Bhutan has got Ryan in the pits. Morris stopped 3 seconds faster than Ryan O'Sullivan. So that was interesting. Wow. Then there's Phantom Nosy, who is not pitted yet. So Matty Gamble is coming out. Ahead of Brit Batiste, John Dudley. Tom Solis is behind John Dudley. I'm interested to see what happened with Tom Trevel. Sorry, Tom, if you're watching the VOD. I love that you chose it. I have to choose Trevel now. I can't not after you making you do that. So let's see where he is on track. So I'd say within the next minute or so. So before we do that, let's have a look at any more action out there. As Spitzen and Zambioni side by side there. And Spitzen does get the job done there. Finley Gamble comes out of the pits now, ahead of Texiera. Nathan Moran, though, is about 0.6 of a second off Mr. Polica. Not sure why that livery has not come up on this one here, so I'll say that to him later. Aaron Holloway in P15. I'm going to jump back on now because Mr. Slow getting there. Poor Bandera are both in the pits. Zayetstov has stayed out for another lap. But I will try and get a lap on with one of your drivers as well. Either Levesky or I'm not going to say a second name. Kotz, I'm going to call him. Sparky. I'd second that. Your choice though, Colin. Well, I suppose I gotta do one car here, but I'll do another one throughout it as well. So I'm gonna jump on with Trevel here now. As I say, I'm gonna do a full on board lap. I'm gonna shut up, and you're gonna enjoy. So enjoy, Mr. Trevel. Just good timing there, wasn't it? So Mr. Trevel goes into the pits there now, down in P12. Spitzen going in the pits just behind, but let's get a full eye. We'll go back to the back at the minute. So we've got Mark Watson in P39 with drive through there. Who's that for? Number 50. That is a drive through for Gamelo. This is the track you don't want drive throughs on. So we've Rabs in P39. Terry Dunn is in P38. P37 is Veronese at the minute. P36 is Vickers. Then we've got Rizov in P35. Di Martino in P34. Warren in P33. Podicott is in P32. Anthony Ferrante is in P31. Falcon is in P30. Perioni is in P29. Zanibioni is in P28. Dunn is in P27. Then we've got Withold here in P26. Stanek is in P25. Finley Gamble's in P24. Nieto is in P23. Pugioni is in P22. Couldn't even think of that name. With Trevel and Raimondo in the pits, that puts them up. Bruno Fantanozzi is in P19. Kilara is in P18. Rat is in P17. Texiera is in P16. Zampereri is in P15. Camelo is in P14. Spitzin is in P13. Bandera is in P12. Then P11 is for Senior Holloway. Then we have Tom Solis in P10. Ken his earplugs in, that's why. There's no car sound. How is there no car sound? I'm hearing it all here. How about now? I'm quite shocked that you say there's no car sound because the audio is pulling up for me here. Then we have John Dudley in P9. Batiste is in P8. Then we have Robert Purr in P7, Matty Gamble in P6. Kowalski is in P5, O'Sullivan P4, Bhutan is in P3, Pavlov in P2, and in P1 without pitting yet is Zatsiev. So I'm sure soon enough they'll pit. I hope they realise there's 2 pit stops, as Gamelo is in the pits serving his drive-through, which is the most painful drive-through you'll ever get. I don't know why the cars are not getting any sound. Back on with Mr. Solis there now. Tom doing a phenomenal job there. And John Dudley, I gotta say, is doing a great job as well. He's having a really good fight here this evening with these guys there. And that's his view at the minute. You see Solis and then Holloway's nearly 8 seconds off these guys. Still to the other point. Ah, you're going to bed, are you? Oh, Chris, how did your other thing go that I wanted to race with you in, but obviously can't race in it with doing this. But how did your race go this evening? Of course, Chris will be joining us in another 3 race this time. And looking back further there, Perioni 0.2 of a second off Mr. Dunn here, and Dunn takes a bit of a wide line. That's Perioni through. I think that's the door open. Yeah, and Perioni through, saying thank you very much. Alex Nieto now is starting to pull into Puglioni. Kuyashka, that long name there, is still in there with hold it is. Kowalski is back in the pits now, doing their second pit already, while Dudley's catching up to Batiste with Tom Solis right behind him as well. So this one's going to get juicy quite soon. Matty Gamble is 14 seconds off of Ryan O'Sullivan at the minute there. Looking at the pit stop times, it was the exact same time as Ryan O'Sullivan. So I expect them just to do a minor splash and dash next time round and get out of there. So let's see how that goes. And I think for me, Kowalski will only be smart if he's able to just get this splash and dash done and come out in clean air. That's another thing to be determining as well. When you do your splash and dash, to make sure you're not then getting caught up with back markers as well, which can happen. So it'll be interesting to see, has he got that pit stop done just correct, or have they just ruined themselves? But time will tell there. On with Mr. Tom though, as he's still putting that pressure on. Okay, so it's 0.2 of a second off. Both of them have one more stop to go. This will be interesting. I think Tom at the minute does seem to have the pace, but then again, Dudley, it's easy catching up to someone. It's getting by then is quite harder. So I'll be interested to see how this does develop. Well, that's going on. Spitzen is catching up with Bandera as well. I think you're in the right split, by the way. Up in the pros this time round. Oh, Solis is right beside Dudley here. Dudley's giving him the room. Dudley is going to still go for it though. Solis gets a bit sideways under the exit there and gets the power down just a little bit too early. Gets a bit sideways and then hands it back to Dudley. So these two are swapping positions like there's no tomorrow. But who's going to come out on top from the two of these? That's going to be the question of mine there. Britt Batiste is in the pits now. Dudley in P7, Solis now in P8 after all of that. So Kowalski, he's kind of caught up in a bit of traffic. I'm not sure this was probably the best thing they could have done. So I'll be interested to see now, does this affect his overall race with Zamperari here going into the pits there. Britt Batiste still in the pits. I'm going to stay on with all these racing away. It's kind of steadied out in terms of gaps. So Dudley is about half a second off Solis at the minute. But I'm going to stay on with this one with Kowalski. They're catching up quite quickly here now. Does he stay there up and there? So he has got the job done on Nieto, and that's fine. So we have Batiste, Zamperari, and Rat is actually now in the pits. So Kowalski will probably gain a few more positions now, with Puglioni now going into the pits then just behind. So the pit stops are getting busy. We're back on with Trevel here, as he is there with Stanek as well. So it'll be interesting. He's too far back. But now you've got Morris Bhutan right behind looking to lap. So Morris will want these guys to get out of the way with the blue flag rule as well. You have 5 corners to let that happen, but Trevel, I'm sure, will let him by quite handy. He does. He's out of the way of it. Doesn't get involved. Nieto still 0.6 of a second back. So now let's see, does Stanek do the right thing as well? Of course, he'll lose a bit of extra time, but it has to be done. So he's getting there. He's pulling in, but does not at the pace, I suppose, that he wants to do there. Well, all that's gone down. Dudley is still about 0.8 of a second off. Matty Gamble has snuck off to the pit, so he's dropped down now to P9, P10 now with Bandera going by. So Gamble's getting his last stop out of the way now. Now that may be a good move, it may be a bad move. It all depends on the gap that is behind, to be absolutely honest. We've seen there Kowalski did get caught up in a bit of that as well. Having a look here at this, what all this is going on. Apologies. And Texiera coming out of the pits, or coming past the pits by Matty Gamble. So Matty's out, so his second pit stop there was only 5 seconds stationary. So let's see how that plays out later on. He's still quite a bit ahead now of Kowalski. Is it going to stay that way though? Is a different story. But we shall see. Solis now is now 0.9 of a second behind John Dudley, so he's had a moment there. Let me check if our systems have pulled that in. Dudley got back by, and Solis again. No, not showing much other than the pass there, so we can't look too much into that one now. So Solis 0.8 of a second off from our present there. So Stanek has had a moment to go back 15 seconds. Oh, he's had a heavy off at the bus stop. Not sure how that could have happened. He's the only one there as well. Rejoin is fine, but that's quite unlucky for him. But back going, which is the main thing. Andy Polycott doing a good job in P28. Look at this, Mark Watson now. P38, not P39, so he's got up a position there and doing exactly what we need to do. Good job there for him. So now he just needs to be on the throttle the whole way through that corner. So Ryan O'Sullivan's in for his second pit stop now. Spitzen's in for their second pit stop. So that's yes. I don't know, have they actually done like a pit stop? No. So they haven't done a pit stop yet, so I'm quite worried for these. Because I hate seeing loads of pit stops coming near the end of a race like this. Then again, it could be a master plan. And he goes into the pits just to say that there. So let's see how that goes. So Matty Gamble in P11, Spitzen still in the pits there. So Matty Gamble now about 13.6 seconds behind this man, Ryan O'Sullivan. Ryan has a bit of minor front damage. Was there a bit of love tapping going on earlier on? John Dudley there, a bit of rear damage and side damage. Dudley's car has had quite a few kisses, politely putting it. So Spitz in there in the pits, Texiera in the pits, Kowalski now open to P12. Mr. Fantanuzzi has done a great job from the start of the race where he was down pretty much near last and has done a great recovery there, so well done to him. So while all that's happening, go back on to Zatsiev. I'm just going to save that replay now so I have the start of the race, because I'll forget otherwise later on, and there's nothing worse than missing a bit of the race. Now, so I'm with Perioni here now, and that's a teammate ahead, so this shouldn't be too bad if it is a case that he's faster. He should be able to get by quite handy. While all that's going on as well, Texiera out of the pits he comes. And now he's going to lose maybe one more position. I don't think the M4 or of Zamperani might get by Stanek. No, he won't get by. It's fine. So Zaitsev has finally gone into the pits as we've seen. Still stopped there. That's 26 second stop. It's such a long pit stop here in GT racing for ACC, as Ramondo is there on the outside of Spitzen there. Doesn't seem to be able to get that move done there. Back on them with Dean Martino there for M4 as well, and they're putting the pressure, it looks like, on there of Wilthold. Let's see how long that pressure does last, as we're coming into the final stages of this race. 90 minutes of round 1 of our season 7 here in Supercharged Motorsports, and yeah, it's been quite busy. My throat's definitely feeling it after a month off doing comms, or it feels like a month. It could have been only about 2 or 3 weeks. And Andy Polycott there doing a good job as always. Stanek feeling the pressure. Ramonia there. Ramundo up ahead is doing a good job also, but Perioni is going along with Zamboni for now. So that's Ramundo there that I was discussing there. Spitzen just ahead of him as well. Up front though, it's kind of going as good, I suppose, as you can expect for Pavlov there at the minute. He's 10 seconds clear of Maurice Boutin. Robert Purr is definitely going to be in pro. That's an absolute definite. And I actually think Finley Gamble is good enough to be up in pro as well. Depends, has he done his 2 stops or 1 stop? Yeah, I think Finley Gamble is good enough to be up there as well. So we'll be doing a little bit of juggling around there. And there's a few pros that maybe may not be there. I think I might be dropping a few of the drivers down a little bit as well. Richard doing a great job there as well. So Richard will definitely be moved down into Pro-Am, I think, as well. There's no point him fighting in a Pro Series for now as he gets used to everybody here. In a season or two time, I'm sure he'll prove me wrong. Anthony Ferrante pushing it forward there now. So that's Mark Watson out of the pits for his last pit stop as well. Good job from him. So we've got Nathan Warren there doing a decent job up actually behind Vickers at the minute. Raimondo here, this is a beautiful move if it sticks, because he's going to be on the outside, being forced around the outside there with Spitzen, and gets the job done. That's a lovely move there, the battle of the Ferraris there. So Finley Gamble will have Raimondo behind him next. Zambioni still there with Perioni as well, so very interesting there, that. Vulcan is behind John Dudley, so John Dudley now down in P20. So John was stopped for another 37 seconds. Did he do an extra set of tyres by mistake? Interesting. Yeah, he wouldn't have done it. That's crazy. I think John has made a mistake in his pit stop. So Sullivan P8 at the minute. So Finley Gamble's in for his pit stop, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Back on with Morris Bhutan there, doing a good job in P2. This boy in P1, Constantine, has done a great job from start to finish. Has not got much airtime. I'll give him a little bit there while there's a breather. And I think I'll do another full grid classification for everyone watching as well. So yeah, we'll go with it here. So Mark Watson is in P39. Bit of front damage on his car now, but he's surviving, and that's the main thing. I didn't see a drive-through on his car either, so fair play to him. Then we've got Rizioff next. Then we've got Anthony Ferrante in P37, Terry Dunn in P36, Veronese in P35, Barry Dunn in P34, Nathan Warren in P33, Vickers in P32, Di Martino in P31, Wiltold in P30, Gamalio in P29, Finley is now in P28, Andy Polycott's in P27. Then we have Puglioni in P25, Cliara is in P26, Rat is in P24, Stanek P23, Zampieri in P22, Texiera in P21, Falcon in P20, John Dudley is in P19, Zanibioni is in P18, Perioni is in P17. Then we have Raimondo in P16, Spitzen in P15. Then we have Trevel or fucking Slow in P14, Britt Batiste in P13, Nieto in P12, Simon Kowalowski there in P11, Shamanaviyepsha, Fantanozzi in P10. Then we have Matty Gamble in P9, Ryan O'Sullivan P8. Zatziev in P7, Bandera in P6, Aaron in P5, Tom Solis is in P4, Poor is in P3, Bhutan is in P2, and Pavlov is in P1 at the minute. And that's the full rundown of the grid at present. Now let's get looking for some action back on with Raimundo here, as he is only 0.4 of a second off Spitzen here, and these are in the same split as well. So it'll be interesting how this one develops. So out of 45 cars starting, we have lost 6 cars. They will not get any championship points tonight. It can include as their drop round. They can do it that way, but it means then for a championship fight they cannot make a mistake the rest of the season. So that will be interesting. So Victor Foken is now in P20 and putting the pressure on there of Zanibioni as well. Let's keep an eye on that. As Stanek is in the pits. So looking, Andy Polycott needs to pit one more time. Zanibioni does. Ramundo does. Nieto, Fantinosi, Zayatsef, Bandera, Holloway, Solis, Pur, Bhutan and Pavlov all need to pit again. Everybody else has done 2 pits or more. FYI. Actually, would that not show up here? Let me see where this is. Nope, done the wrong thing. Ah, there you go. There you go. You can see the cars that need to pit one more time. It's all there now. And everything else in the green has pitted, and that's the gaps. I knew it was there somewhere. So back on here with Victor Fokin. Doing a good job. It's a beautiful looking car that. Interesting, Pura is now in the pits. The rest of them have not pitted as of yet. As we see, Stanek comes out just behind Vickers there. 4.8 seconds off, so very cool. Then we drive through for Ritzhoff there as well. Sorry, I missed to say that. And unfortunately for them, they have a pit stop anyway, so they really need to get that drive through done and then the pit stop. That's going to take up probably half of the race now for them, with only 14 minutes left on the clock. Who do you want to vote for driver of the day, viewers? That's more to the question now for me. For myself, I definitely would say, looking at where they started to where they ended up, that's always P40 and then P41. So you can't really argue in terms of overall. Pavlov has done the best out of there, but in terms of fun factor of positions gained at the minute, Fantanosi's up to like 30 positions, which is huge, absolutely huge. So I would say that would be part of, I suppose, what I would give Fantanosi my own driver of the day today. But then again, I want to give a big shout out to my boy, because it's his very first race, not easy Spa as well, and he's used to the Formula 1 physics and all that kind of stuff, so it's a big adjustment. So I think between Fantanosi and Rabsy, they can split driver of the day. But it's not over yet, as Nieto coming through the pack. Solis is also in the pits there for their last time this evening, with 12 minutes left on the clock. Matty Gamble now in P8. He is looking, he's only 11 seconds off of Sullivan now. He was 14 at one point, so Matty is slowly reeling him in. So while all that's happening, Bandera is in as well. Solis. Ryan O'Sullivan though should get back by both of them now, putting him up into P4. The thing about it is, I'm interested to see now with Maurice Bhutan this time around, does he stay ahead of Ryan? Because Ryan's splash and dash was literally a 5-second splash and dash, or is it going to actually well, the tables turn again, of course. Bhutan was 3 seconds faster in the first pit stop phase than Ryan O'Sullivan, so I am definitely interested to see how that one turns out. Looking back further on here, guys, Mr. Pottycott's in for his last stop. Anonymous Rat in the Sex Pistols car is doing his best to try and catch up in the 8 there, looking for a P22. But Texiera, great job there. Zanibioni, great job there at him. Perioni doing a good one. Ramundo. The M4Ors, a lot of them are in the Pro-Am, so that might change for a few of them drivers as well. Of course, we will be reviewing all of these afterwards, but Robert, you're definitely in the Pro class. As we go under 10 minutes in this 90 minutes of span, round 1 of our season 7, which is of course sponsored by ACC Drive as well. ACC Drive have been great partners with us from day 1 as well, so I want to give them a shout out, and I'll add in an ad for them next week as well, as we'll go back on with Anonymous Rat there. 4.4 of a second off now. Holloway's in the pits, as is Zatsiev. So Holloway and Zatsiev only in there now. So we'll wait then Bhutan and Pavlov for their final stops of this race there. There's an awful lot of back markers there, but I think he's got enough to lead where he doesn't need to worry too much. So Perioni catching up to Dudley. Dudley obviously had that extra pit stop, and 30 seconds is a lot of time to be down. He should be in and around the, yeah, ahead of Britt Batiste, I think. So that has been quite a tough one for him. It's a lot of time lost. It's been Matty Gamble now, gets himself up into what, P4. So Matty Gamble's had a phenomenal race here as well, and Matty Gamble actually, throw him in as well as part of the drive of the day. Hasn't raced in over 3 months and comes back in, has a phenomenal race as well. Holloway out of the pits there now, out on P9. Does he hold off? Yeah, P10's quite a bit away, so Holloway now feels fairly secure, I'd say, in P9, with Zatsiev coming out for P10 at the minute, possibly P11, maybe even P12, but Britt's a little bit too far back, so Zatsiev seems like he's going to be able to hold on to it there. As you see the race leader going by, then you have Britt Batiste there, so Zatsiev, while waiting very, very long to do his pits, I suppose, kept himself out of any mad traffic, so good job for them, and they are up, what, 2 positions there, so not a bad overall race for them at the fact that they're gaining positions. Of course, waiting on the last 2 to stop there. Anonymous Rat is still having his bit of a battle there with Nieto, but he has, what, 7 minutes left to try and get the job done. Britt Batiste is on the back of Zatsiev there now, so what can Batiste do here? Of course, in the Aston Martin. Not used to seeing him in an Aston, so I'm, I suppose, interested to find out his logic for choosing the Aston after never really driving it. He was a Ferrari man, if I remember correctly, so that is definitely different. Now let me see. So there's not much really in terms of mad fight yet. There's a few that are progressing. I can see less than 1.5 seconds that may come into play soon, as Batiste there now is about a second off Zatsiev, so that kind of pushing phase is kind of come and gone now for him, as Zatsiev gets back into the rhythm there. So Pavlov has had a flawless race really, pole position, fastest lap, and is sitting in P1 at the minute. 1 pit stop left to go, but plenty of time there. He'll get in and out in no time. When I say no time, should be fine. So yeah, let's just wait to see what happens here now. It's quite a long pit lane here in Spa as well. But let's see what is yet to be unplayed. So Rat is still there, 0.4 of a second off. He's achingly close to get that position. Well, it's going to be a long season, so he doesn't need to go too mad. Maurice Boutin is finally pitted. Looking last and is absolutely lovely. So this is what I'm interested in seeing. Ryan Sullivan was a lap down. I was wondering why that's so close. Oh no, I actually think this is a live race. Is Boutin? Oh, he's out of the pits because he had the longer side of it. He's come out ahead of Ryan O'Sullivan. Morris is out. That was great stuff there. That pit lane is so deceiving. So Ryan now is what, 7 seconds off, or 6.5 seconds by the time it settles out with speed. So Morris has done a great job there. You just see O'Sullivan in the background there now. Wow, okay. So the last person to pit is going to be the race leader, Pavlov. Well, that's great for him. Unfortunately, Tom must have had an error that we didn't see or got caught up in something because he's down in P8 now. He was sitting in P4, P5, that kind of area. So it'll be interesting to see what happened there. And of course, by the next race, splits will be finalised there now, so we can see there's definitely a few out of position that we will amend. All tipping around there. Solis P8, Holloway P9. Holloway's not too far off from either. Batiste down in P12. Mr. Ken in P13. Dudley up into P16 now, so he's got up a few more positions since the last time, look, because he was down like P19. But he definitely must have had some sort of an issue as well. Other than, I'd say, the tyres, there must have been something else, because he was definitely quite a bit further up than where he is now at the minute, as Rat has got by Nieto. Just, I think, but Nieto now is the inside line for the next corner as well. Nieto fights back. Rat can try and do the switch back. He doesn't need to overfight this one. He didn't go for it. If he went for the switch back there, I think he took the wider line. That would have worked like textbook. Now Rat is now on the outside. I don't know why he's doing that. He's gone through anyway, so be interesting to see. So Cleara there as well with Campbell, Leonardo. Oh, Britt Batista and Bandera are at it, both in Astons. Batista has a beautiful bum trap there, we could say that was, and gets it done perfectly. And up into P11 goes Mr. Batiste. We are down, of course, into the last minute and a bit of racing there. Pavlov came out of the pits there, not a bother to him. And I'm assuming there should be one more lap, but we'll see how it goes. He could slow down and think that's it. It really all depends on himself. He is dictating if we do another lap or not now. He has a 10-second gap, so he's able to let off if he needs to. So it's all down to him. I'd say there probably isn't a lap, and actually looking at where we are on the track. And he's been absolutely flawless. Fast lap, as I say, pole position, and the race win just about in the bag. As he absolutely lets that V8 rev out. So he gets by there. That's the back marker out of the way. You see, he could slow down, but then again, it's not worth it. So he'd have to do it because he could try that, but Bhutan would have definitely went for the overtake. You wouldn't blame them. So Ryan O'Sullivan's caught up with Morris quite a bit. You know, like Morris is of course in traffic, but he has 5 seconds of a buffer. Tom Solis here is catching up with Kowalski, and will have another lap to actually try and attack for that position. So for Solis here, this could be super interesting, and maybe waking his attentions up for this one, because it may be a viable option then for him. As they are all giving it everything they can do to try and get one more position in the 8th there with Sampieri. Still going at it. Stanek and Polycott all at it here. Stanek trying to squeeze up the inside. Polycott giving the squeeze back, and then Vickers just ahead there as well. So it's definitely not over for these guys. These all have one more lap. Where is this race leader now as well? I don't want to be missing them getting across the line. The race leader is not far behind them, so the guys need to stay ahead of the race leader to get one more lap of action. So Stanek there, 0.5 a second off Polycott, who's 0.6 of a second off Vickers. And the Stanek's down to 0.4, as is Polycott. Oh, Vickers had an issue. What happened to you, Vickers? Just looking here, did he just lose it on the curb? Oh, he lost it just before the curve. He seemed sideways, but he was able to hold it there, and he gets going again without too much of an impedance there, and only lost it on those few positions. So we're going to jump on with the race leader, guys, as he's been absolutely flawless, as I say, from start to finish today. And what a way to start off the new season. Pavlov coming up now to the last corner, bus stop, to take the season 7 round 1 win for the Pro Championship there, and great way to start off the season. So well done to him there. Phenomenal race from him. Morris Bhutan then coming home in P2. Great job for our team, with the current championship lead, or champion should I say, in P3. Still not a bad way to start off. Mr. Consistency last season, that's what got it for him. Matty Gamble starts off his championship in the Honda with a P4 for him, and Pura is getting a P5 in the Pro split because he's definitely been moved to Pro. And great job from him. So then in P6 then we have Bruno Fantinosi. That's a great race from him as well. What a recovery. So Fantinosi has made up 34 positions. That's huge. So Kowalski then in 7th, Solis in 8th, just towards the line, both of them giving it everything. Then we have Aaron Holloway with Finley Campbell ahead of him, with Holloway ahead on the track. Then Ruslan Zatsiev, great race from him. Wasn't sure about his pit stop strategy, but it worked out for him. With Batiste then in P11, and it's actually Mr. Slow himself then in P12, Spitzin in P13, Raimondo in P14, Dudley be P15, Victor P16, Peroni P17, and it all goes on as some of the guys after finishing the race will be jumping in and out. So what a way to start off the season. A great race around here in Spa. I want to thank everyone who's been watching on Twitch and on YouTube and TikTok and chatting away to me and giving some good comments. And I hope if you enjoy the video and you watch it back on YouTube, give it a like, a thumbs up there, and subscribe to my Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube. The more followers we have, the better as well.